Alright, what's going on, guys? My name's Chopper. So we have a lot of zombie stuff to talk about today. Now, before I get too far into this, I want to say I wanted to cover this stuff earlier, but I had some other stuff to cover before I got around to this, so I'm just not getting around to it, so I apologize if this is information that you guys might already know, but you guys are going to be able to hear my personal take on it, and also some of the information that maybe you didn't hear, and then, you'll be filled in on that. So we have two main topics that I want to talk about today, and those two things are going to be the scraps of paper that was solved in Zetsubou No Shima, and also the real powers and the real effect of the summoning key, and what is that going to be used for, because we have a little bit more information on that, and I think it's starting to come together what exactly we're going to need this thing for. So we will start with the Zetsubou No Shima thing that was solved. Now, basically what this is, you guys know that in Treyarch Zombies maps, since the ones that Blundell has made, Mob of the Dead Origins, even all the way back, even all the way back to Mob of the Dead, all the way up until Zetsubou No Shima. Now, there's been scraps of paper hidden around the map that we got to piece together, and it'll form one big image, right? Back in Mob of the Dead, it was a drawing from a comic. In Origins, it was the premise one, and then in Der Eisendrache, I believe, it was the letter to the Emperor, just stuff like that. In Zetsubou No Shima, we had a little bit of a different case. It was kind of like a grid with highlighted numbers in it, and then you have to put this key over it in order for it to highlight the correct letters, and that'll give you, the translation of that cipher. And that cipher reads as follows: Maxis, have you found the space-time coordinates for the other individuals I asked you for? It is imperative that we find them as well. You must trust me on this. For my plan to work, we need their blood. That's what it translates to. And you guys know that the blood vials have been a confusing aspect of the zombie storyline ever since Origins, because Richtofen has been wearing them since Origins. You can go back and look at his character model, and he still has that on him, but we haven't really had really solid information as to exactly what he needs that for. There's all kinds of speculation, all kinds of theories. It's starting to come together a little bit. We're getting a little bit more information on it now as the storyline progresses, but ever since then, the blood has been important, but we don't know exactly why. Now, the actual writer of this cipher itself is actually kind of interesting, because a lot of people thought it could have been Maxis at first, but I believe they put Maxis, comma, at the beginning of that cipher just so we know that Maxis himself is not writing this. Somebody else, probably either Richtofen or maybe even Dr. Monty, is writing this to him. I do believe it is Richtofen personally. I believe he's trying to get these space-time coordinates in order, to complete his plan. He needs to go back and get a couple more individuals for their blood. Now, who these individuals are, we can go ahead and take some guesses at them. We might think that it could be the transit crew. Now, reason being, you guys remember at the end of Buried, when the whole final thing happens, we didn't really get to see, I guess, a final ending to what actually happens to these characters. When Richtofen wins, it's presumed that they're dead. As you see them in the infinite round, they're dead, on the ground. So that's, I guess, what we presume happens to them, but we don't really know for sure. And obviously, I think that it's pretty clear that he needs to go back and get their blood for some sort of reason. Now, a lot of people think that it's people from past zombie maps like Call of the Dead, and you go back and get their blood. I think they're going back to get everybody's blood, but here's what doesn't add up. Here's what doesn't make sense to me is Richtofen has 2 blood vials on him, both from Mob of the Dead, right? And then the other characters after the Zetsubou No Shima Easter egg have blood vials on them too, but they only have 2, so that would not equal as many characters as they need to have all their blood. I assume, it's obviously they need to get more characters, but I don't think they have enough blood to even cover what they need so far. But this is just assuming that they are in fact going back to past zombie maps to get the blood samples from, the transit crew or the Call of the Dead crew, maybe even go back to Shangri-La to get Brock and Gary's. Who knows? That's just all my speculation. That's kind of my theory about what's going on with the blood. We don't know exactly what it is for sure yet, but I'm sure we're going to find out in upcoming Max DLC 3 and DLC 4. But anyway, so let's go ahead and get into the second topic of this video, as that was just, this kind of segues into my next point, which is we're going to be talking about the summoning key. Now, the summoning key has been another role in the zombie storyline. We don't know exactly what it's for. We just know that we're collecting souls and blood with it, right? You guys see that, especially when you're doing the rituals. This kind of flew past me the whole time. We're doing the rituals in Shadows of Evil. You're basically getting these people's blood, right? You're getting Jackie's partner and all this sort of stuff. So you're getting these people's blood and their souls, but for what reason? We're even getting rather strange characters' souls, like the Shadow Man. Like, why is he's been against us the entire time in the Shadows of Evil Easter egg? Why are we getting his soul in the summoning key? Now, there's actually Apothican symbols on the summoning key. We now have the translations of those symbols into English form for it. So I'm going to go ahead and read you the symbols on the summoning key and what they mean in English, so we can kind of get a little bit of perspective onto what the actual power of the summoning key is. Now, these are Apothican. I'm going to try not to butcher the pronunciations, but just bear with me here. The first one that says, this one right here says Oragoth, and that means rise. Now, the second one over here is Arkzora, which means unlock, and then this one right here says Loruza, which means grow or birth. It could be either or. This one says Arcugilor, which means invade. This next one says Astugua, which means servant. And then this last one says Shubaneth, which means trap. So all this being said, you know, you can take all these literal English translations and try to piece together what the actual, I guess, effect and purpose of the summoning key is for. Now, Jason Blundell has told us that the true power of the summoning key has not been realized yet. We've not seen the full scope of what this piece of, or this artifact is actually capable of. And I think we're going to, you know, find that out in DLC 4, what it's actually going to be for. Now, it's not called the summoning key for no reason, right? We've never used it to summon anything, but what do you think we're going to be summoning? Obviously, we're collecting something inside the summoning key, and the effect is that, I mean, apparently with the summoning key, we're supposed to be summoning things, right? It only makes sense to resummon things that we've already collected. So what would be the purpose of resummoning people or souls and blood that we've already collected? That's kind of interesting to me. I'm not really sure what exactly we're going to be using the summoning key, but we have not used its full purpose. You know, we haven't actually used it to summon anything just yet, and Jason Blundell has confirmed that to us. So what do you think the summoning key is going to be used for? I'm kind of curious on what you guys think about this, and also what do you think the blood vials are going to be used for with this new updated information that we kind of have. So I'm really curious to what you guys think about this. But anyway, guys, let me know about this. Let me know what you think the summoning key is for, and if you guys did enjoy this, make sure you guys do leave a like and subscribe if you don't already. I was kind of looking into this. I thought this would be really interesting. I want to cover this new information that came out, and I apologize if you guys have already seen this, but at least you get to hear my take on it and stuff like that. So anyway, guys, it's aim for 30 likes on this video. I'd appreciate it very, very much. So anyway, guys, thank you all for watching the video, and I will catch you guys on the next one.